Hello, everyone. Here's your weather and hazard briefing for Saturday, November 6th. We're watching rain and snow on the increase today, and that increases through tonight into tomorrow, shifting from the northwest to southeast. Most of us will see light rain and snow with that snow above 6,500 feet. Heavier snowfall is expected across portions of the Sawtooth, Boulders, and Pioneers in the Central Mountains. Around Island Park and the Centennial Mountains, especially up high, we'll see some decent snowfall. Also along the border areas with Yellowstone and the Tetons. Monday, a bit of a break, and then we go into Tuesday and Wednesday. It's colder. We're going to have another decent rain and snow event, and this one actually may produce some snow, or at least a rain-snow mix at lower elevations. You can already see the moisture from the next storm pushing into Idaho this morning, and that storm will swing inland, and that moisture will be increasing. We'll see some gusty winds as well with this system. It's quite a mess out in the Pacific, the Gulf of Alaska, and the northern Pacific. This will continue to feed us all these storms coming through as we go into the middle part of next week. Looking at the risk outlook, most areas not seeing much of an impact, even with some wind. We're going to see our highest impacts up in the eastern highlands, especially if you're traveling over above 6,500 feet, or going to be out and about 6,500 feet, traveling over Targhee Pass and Reynolds Pass going into Montana. That'll be a bit slushy or slick later on today, into tonight, and even into tomorrow morning. Some minor impacts around the Sawtooth, like I said, also on the Wood River area, especially off the valley floor. That trend will continue into tomorrow, although quite a bit of the precipitation will be shifting into the eastern highlands as we go into the morning hours. There'll be some mostly snow showers in the central mountains in the morning, shifting the main band east during the day. So we go into Tuesday and Wednesday, we're targeting the highlands and the mountains for some impacts, and then those impacts increase as we go into Wednesday, and we may actually have to increase some of these impacts. It looks like, especially, again, in the Sawtooth and the Boulders with that southwest flow, even up into the Island Park area, we may see some pretty good amounts of rain and snow headed our direction with that storm system. But it's still a couple of days out. We'll have more time to figure out and refine those details on that. Looking how things are progressing today and tomorrow, you can see those light rain and snow showers over the central mountains. There'll be a bit of a break, and then they'll start to pick up again as we go into today. And this afternoon, we'll see some moisture increasing again around the Centennials, bordering with Yellowstone and the Tetons. There looks to be, maybe by mid-afternoon, a band of sprinkles, some virga developing across the Snake Plain. That really probably won't take shape until this evening. But as we get into late afternoon and evening, you can start to see rain and snow starting to really pick up across the area, especially the central mountains, on up again towards the Island Park area, around the big holes and the Tetons. And as you'll see going to this evening, we will see most of that moisture shifting into the southern and eastern highlands overnight. Some lingering showers in the morning in the central mountains. Here we are around 5 or 6 a.m. Don't forget the time change tonight. Fall back 1 hour at 2 o'clock in the morning. Rain and snow continuing, especially across the southern and eastern benches of the Snake Plain down into the southeast highlands. Notice by morning, really not much going on or is expected until into the Bear Lake area until probably late tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow night, actually. And by then, not a lot of moisture is expected to fall. Going into the morning hours, a pretty solid band across the southern and eastern highlands. That band will start to shift to the east and weaken as we go through the day. A few more showers up along the Montana border. We might see a few more elsewhere, but those will be the areas most likely to see continuing precipitation. We go into tomorrow night, we see maybe a little bit of lingering precipitation down around the Bear Lake area. Again, that's probably going to be the best time to see any moisture falling around the Bear Lake area. Moving back to our forecast for today, the winds, we'll start to see those winds picking up, especially in the higher elevations of the central mountains. Some of those gusts are already above 30 miles per hour. Going into this afternoon, those winds will continue, but we'll start to see some gusty winds as the cold front shifts south and east, developing across the Centennials, also into the Snake Plain. Now, where it's going to be much higher, and we have the colder temperatures allowing the snow to be more of a dry snow versus a wet, heavier snow, we might see some pockets of blowing snow with this event. But again, nothing widespread expected in that regard. For snow this morning and in this afternoon, those amounts are going to be fairly light where it does fall. Going into this afternoon, ahead of the front, we're going to see temperatures in the 50s to maybe even down near 60 in a few spots. Back over the Central Mountains and on up into the Centennials, it's going to be in the 40s in the mountains, right around 50 in Chalice. For this evening, those wind gusts will continue, but they're going to start moving away from the Central Mountains and shifting to the south and to the east. And by then, most of the wind will be across the Snake Plain on up into the eastern highlands again. For snow amounts, you'll see late this afternoon and this evening, we're going to be targeting, like we said, the Sawtooths, the Boulders, and Pioneers. Some of these folks may see as much as 2 to 4 inches of snow in just a few hours in that area. Again, up towards Island Park. Once you get off the valley floor, not much expected down along Highway 20, but you can see right along the Montana border, also bordering with Yellowstone, we're looking at some folks seeing 2 to 4, maybe 6 inches up around Sawtell Peak, and not much once you get down towards Driggs and the Tetons. That'll change as we go into the overnight hours. You see lighter snow over the Central Mountains and across the southern and eastern highlands on those higher peaks, but you'll start to see the snow increasing again. Some areas in excess of 4 inches, the higher elevations of the Centennials and bordering there along the Wyoming border. And that does mean if you're traveling over Targhee Pass, off of Reynolds Pass, there could be some slushy and slick conditions later on this evening and into the overnight hours. Tomorrow morning, temperatures will be pretty chilly in the Central Mountains. The colder spots will be down into the teens. We continue with those gusty winds, and temperatures will be dropping, and by morning we'll see snow levels. Most likely, maybe some of the bench areas along the Snake Plain might see a little bit of snow mixed in with what rain is there. But otherwise, it's going to be mostly a rain event for the lower elevations up towards Island Park, and like I said, where snow is lingering in the Central Mountains, it will definitely be snow. Winds tomorrow morning continuing from the Magic Valley Snake Plain on up into the eastern highlands, and the winds do pick up, especially across the Arco Desert again tomorrow afternoon, about 30 to 35 miles per hour. By morning, you can see the snow band shifting to the south and to the east, but snow will be letting up. Still some lingering decent snow across Island Park, also into the Big Holes and over into the Tetons, but that will be again diminishing in the afternoon. And highs tomorrow much cooler. We're going to see highs in the 40s in the lower elevations, 20s and 30s up into the mountains, and those winds will continue into the evening hours, but they're going to quickly die down once we get past sunset, and not much snow again expected tomorrow night. There's that lingering amount of moisture down around Bear Lake. If you're looking at this in terms of rainfall or melting that snow, a lot of us aren't going to see much at all, but we're talking maybe quarter to half inch, maybe a little bit more across portions of the Central Mountains. The heavier amounts will fall up into the Island Park area over into Wyoming, where some areas may see over half an inch of rain in lower elevations, melting that snow if you were to put it into a bucket of some kind or a little measuring tube up into the higher elevations. Monday morning will be chilly. We're expecting pretty much everyone below freezing. It'll be down into the single digits, maybe near zero in some of the colder pockets of the Central Mountains. And highs on Monday, not much different. 40s, maybe we might approach 50 down in the Magic Valley. Otherwise, 20s and 30s up in the mountains. Tuesday morning will be a chilly one, but albeit a little bit warmer ahead of the next storm, warming up a couple of degrees across the board. We get into Wednesday. That's when that storm moves in, Tuesday night into Wednesday. Across the interstate corridor, we're going to see that rain-snow mix. Some of the valleys down south towards the Utah border, rain-snow mix. Otherwise, most of us seeing snow falling. And then temperatures, look at Craters, not getting above 40 on Wednesday afternoon. Ashton, 40, only 35 in Island Park. In the Central Mountains, especially off the Valley Forge, it's going to be at or below freezing. So this next storm system, middle of the week, we're going to refine what we're going to see in terms of rain and snow amounts as we go through the next couple of days. This one may be producing some snow at lower elevations, that's for sure, at least the mix. All right, everyone, have a great day. If you're going to be traveling, you're going to be out in the high country today and tomorrow, do be careful. Be prepared for some winter conditions out there.